Not forgiving someone is like drinking the poison yourself, but expecting the other person to die. Hey fam, welcome back to the channel. I am still out of the studio and in Baltimore. I want to finish wrapping up the month of June where we've been talking about rest and how this last type of rest really seems to help others, but in fact is helping you. So let's cover what we've talked about. Then we'll jump into that final topic. So what have we talked about in this last month? Well, we've talked about spiritual rest, mental rest, physical rest, emotional rest, sensory rest, creativity rest, rest from our relationships. And last week, actually on Father's Day, rest from being a mama, right? Well, what we're going to talk about today is rest from holding grudges. Now that might seem kind of specific and not really overly broad to really cover everyone, but as I jump into the topic today, you're going to see a little bit more about why this is a really important last one to wrap it up, because really you have control over the whole thing. So let's jump in. All right, so holding grudges, taking a rest from holding grudges, and maybe not even taking a rest, taking a full hiatus, whatever you want to call it. Holding grudges is something that a lot of us do, and they could be as minute as just a little internal grudge that you have with yourself, with things that you're trying to fix that you wish you no longer do. Whether it's like you smoked before and you've been trying to quit and you have this grudge with yourself, like, why can't you quit? Why can't you do this? Right? It's really just kind of eating away at you. And then of course we have the more common external grudges that we have usually with other people, sometimes our parents, sometimes our children, a lot of times our family, sometimes our spouse who we are still actively living with day to day. How do we get over these grudges? Or how do we take a rest from them long enough in order to get over them, essentially? And this is what I want to lead with. I want to lead with the idea on why it's important to get over grudges. On this channel, I'm talking a lot about how you can help yourself, how you can build self-awareness, how you can have better emotional intelligence and do all the things that need to help you reach that point of knowing and being your authentic self. Well, it's very hard to be that person when you're carrying, sometimes with honor, this big bag of grudge or unforgiveness for things that have happened, things that people have done to you, maybe things you've done to others. Sometimes some of us carry around this grudge because we did something bad with ourselves and we feel like we deserve it, right? This is just us kind of bearing our cross per se, and us having to do what we need to do to kind of, seek the forgiveness and the punishment that we need for what we did. But that's where I just kind of want to just like wipe that slate clean. And I heard a friend say this once, and she said that not forgiving someone is like drinking the poison yourself, but expecting that person to die. I'm going to rewind that, say that again. Not forgiving someone is like drinking the poison yourself, but expecting the other person to die or to get hurt or to be maimed or whatever it is, right? What does that mean? Not forgiving does nothing for anybody else but you. Forgiving is not about the other person. It is not about them at all. It is completely about you and you being able to free yourself from whatever that situation is. But as long as you keep holding on to it, as long as you keep holding it near and dear to yourself, you will continue to feel the grief of it as if you're drinking the poison, and their life goes on. Maybe they are concerned with the problem that happened, but their life really just continues to go on and they don't really feel it. But you're over here in a corner drinking the poison, expecting them to die, and they're living their best life and you're suffering. And the only person who has control over that is you, my friend. And so that is why having an understanding of forgiveness is really important on taking those first steps towards, the letting go of holding grudges. Now, one of the reasons why letting go of grudges is hard for a lot of people is because it deals with an aspect of disappointment. Someone let you down, someone did something to you, or like I said, vice versa, you did something to someone else. So there's this like critical or little portion of disappointment that occurred that makes it very hard for a lot of us to deal with, but you have to deal with it. And the way you deal with it is you get through these feelings. How is it making you feel? How is it making the other person feel? Are we living in a life of flow, or is it just kind of like we avoid each other and we don't even look at each other's social media, and we block them on social media, and we block them from our cell phones? I mean, like, at what level is this entering your life? You really have to understand that by accepting the fact that there is going to be a bit of disappointment, that the forgiveness is going to help you to get over that. But what I want you to understand here is that this feeling of forgiveness and being able to forgive and dealing with this aspect of disappointment, it's one word. It is a process, all right? It's a process, and it's a process that needs to be repeated. Just like you learn to walk, you crawl, you scooch on your belly, then you slowly get to get up on all fours, and then you slowly get to sit up on, babies sit up on their butt, and the next thing you know, they're pulling themselves up, and next thing you know, they're slowly taking steps, and then they're running, right? And that's the process of learning to walk and learning to run. And it's the same thing with forgiveness, where you really have to start the process of feeling the feelings that you went through, even though they might be hurt, they might be anger. Like, allow yourself to feel it, because if you feel it, you can deal with it. Letting yourself feel these feelings and allowing them to process is very different than suppressing them. Suppressing them is, I'm just not going to think about that. I'm going to ignore them. This didn't happen. I can deal without them in my life. Like, that's suppressing, right? That's suppressing behavior. But feeling the feelings and dealing with them is like, I'm pretty angry right now. I could punch a wall. In fact, I'm gonna punch a wall, right? Or I'm gonna, I'm gonna have a little bit of ice cream, or like whatever it is that you're feeling. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry, and I'm gonna stay in bed for a few days, and it'll be done, right? Whatever those feelings are, they're real. They're real to you. They may not be real to anyone else, but the fact that they're real to you is how you channel in and hone in on your own authenticity. When you feel something that belongs to you, and you allow yourself, and you don't just push it off and say like, be strong, don't deal with it. It teaches you how to get to your authentic self a lot faster. And so when you deal with it and you accept it for what it is, this is what allows you to reach the other side of forgiveness and letting go of this grudge a lot sooner. It is a process. And like I said, just with walking, it takes practice. You got to keep doing it over and over again, to where it's very, like, I feel like even I'm at the point where like forgiving someone is so much easier. Before, I used to hold on for dear life with a lot of grudges, specifically the ones that I had with my husband. And they're a little like, nitpicky relationship, household type of grudges, some with family and different things. But then the energy that it was taking from me, I got to a point where like, wow, this is not worth it. I have this whole life to live, and it's a pretty amazing life that I've built. Why am I allowing these grudges or these past pains and my lack of forgiveness for these situations and these people to hold me back? I'm doing that to myself. Stop killing yourself, Shan. Stop drinking the poison. Okay. And that is where it really became apparent that letting go was going to be something I needed to learn. And that's why I encourage you folks to learn how to take a rest from holding grudges. Because once you do that process over and over and over again, you're still going to deal with BS from people all the time. That is just a fact of life. How you deal with it though, how you react to it, and how you let it go off and into the world and not on your heart and your chest and into your mind and really, what is the word? Really stalling you at your life, then it's an important process to learn if you really want to have the true type of rest that we've been talking about the whole month of June. So when you're thinking about how awful that thing is that person did to you, or how traumatic this event was in your situation, I'm not downplaying that at all. At all. I'm not downplaying it at all. I'm not saying it didn't happen. What I want you to do is the scary work. That's what I'm going to encourage you to do. It's doing the scary work of actually feeling, now, where was I at that moment? How did this really affect me? What was really going on in my head? What did I expect? And what didn't happen that didn't meet that expectation, to where now it's this painful feeling in my body that I carry with me all the time, like this heavy military bag on my back throughout my whole life. I don't want to be doing that. I want to be light. I want to be free. How do I work on this? And of course, if you see any of my other videos, I've done video on shadow work. I've done video on being self-aware. All of these kind of come together and help you with understanding how to let go. I actually do help people through this process in my Audacity Academy, which is a 10-week program that helps you to really gather the tools that you're going to need to be able to overcome and break through the different things that happen in your life. Because if you don't know, you've been here for a while already, I'm a mindset coach. And what I help people to do is to understand, to reflect and accept the things that have happened in their past so that they can reframe what's going on in their future. And they make the choices as opposed to choices making them. That's a very different life that you live when you are in the driver's seat versus feeling like someone else is and you have complete lack of control. You have the control. I show you how to get there. That's really all it is. It's a great program. I'll probably be opening back up in August. So watch for that. Click on the link below in the description. I have a wait list that you can get on so that you can be able to be notified when that's happening again. But it really is a great program if you want to be able to get to that place. I've talked to many people where forgiveness is just not an option for them. They're just not even going to explore them. That's how tightly wound and that's how hard it is for them to they don't even want to think about it, much less talk to me about it, much less talk to even themselves in the mirror about it. So that is someone who's just having a difficult time. How do you help them? How do you help yourself? I think doing something as simple as watching these YouTube videos will slowly start to chip away at these areas of our life that are really hard. So if you find these videos helpful, definitely like them. But for me, it's better for me that you just keep coming back, keep listening, keep hearing new perspectives. Don't only watch my channel, for sure, watch my channel. But also check out other similar coaches to me. Look up different coaches. Type into the YouTube search box all the different things that you're struggling with. So many videos will come up. And if you find that that's a very hard thing to talk about, and maybe even hard to talk about with a therapist or a friend, these videos that you can watch in the privacy of your own home or with your headsets on with your phone, it really will help you to chip away at these outer layers that are really kind of protecting you and protecting your heart from being further hurt. But I can tell you right now, if you truly want to let go of all of that baggage, it is going to take an unlayering of each of those layers that are on you. And you're the only person who can do the work, sis. You're the only person who can do the work. So I hope to be able to help you with that one day, or even if it's just you coming back to the channel every week and seeing the videos and taking a little bit of information from that and applying to your life, then you're welcome. I've helped you in some way. And that's really my only hope for the whole channel. So I hope you folks have a great week. We're moving into the 7th month of the year already, and the 4th of July. What else happens in July? Nothing much. What I hope is happening in July is that I'm coming back home to Hawaii and that I'm leaving Baltimore for good for a while. It's been a long time here, almost 3 months. So I am ready to get back to the studios, get more content back out to you folks. If you like today's videos and just our little June segment on the different types of rest that you can get, hit the like button below. Make sure that you support it and go ahead and click the subscribe button and get notified for when that comes back on. And until I see you folks on the other side, you keep evolving, guys. Take care, fam. Bye.